He will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
Imagine being immersed in the dark, eerie corridors of one of the country's most notorious prisons, a place where secrets thrive and rumors swirl through every shadowy corner. Now envision the shock when one of the biggest music moguls in the world, Diddy, once an unstoppable force in the entertainment industry, suddenly finds himself trapped in this grim reality. It might seem like the plot of a Hollywood thriller, but according to anonymous sources from inside the Metropolitan Detention Center, this isn't just a story. The tales emerging from within are as unpredictable and larger than life as Diddy himself.
So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
What makes this story even more intriguing is the way it all unfolded. Diddy's arrest wasn't just a public shock, it reverberated through the entire prison system. Why? Because this wasn't your average celebrity scandal. No, the charges against him were grave, and the courtroom drama surrounding the case dominated headlines for months. But when he was denied bail not once, but 3 times, it became clear that this wasn't going to end with a cushy house arrest in some lavish Miami estate. Instead, Diddy was sent to Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, infamous for its harsh conditions and chilling reputation. While most inmates would crumble under such a drastic shift, Diddy reportedly entered the facility with an air of confidence, as if he were the one in charge.
Incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent until proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty.
This is where the story takes an eerie turn. A former anonymous prison guard who quit their job out of fear for their safety has come forward with unsettling details about what life was really like with Diddy behind bars. According to this whistleblower, Diddy wasn't just another inmate. From the moment he arrived, it was clear he was treated differently, almost like royalty. Rumors began to spread among the staff. Why was he there? Why hadn't he been sent to a federal facility like other high-profile inmates? The guard claims that even the warden appeared uncomfortable, issuing strict orders to avoid asking questions and to adhere to protocol without exception. But as anyone familiar with life in a prison knows, secrets are hard to keep hidden. The first sign of something unusual was the food. While the other inmates were stuck with tasteless, barely edible meals, Diddy's dinners were delivered from a 5-star restaurant. Gourmet dishes, roasted chicken, fresh vegetables, and even desserts arrived on a cart every evening. It wasn't just the food. Over time, a growing collection of personal items showed up in his cell: designer clothes, high-end headphones, a leather-bound journal with gold initials. Not exactly what you'd expect for someone serving time, right? But it doesn't end there. The guard alleges that Diddy's visitor list was like a revolving door of the wealthy and powerful. Late at night, well past visiting hours, distinguished guests would arrive, dressed in suits, not the typical prison visitors. Some of these names were instantly recognizable: public figures, business moguls, and even people from Diddy's past. What was discussed during these visits? No one knows for sure, but the guard insists that each visit left the staff uneasy, as if something much bigger was unfolding behind closed doors.
That with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone.
Then there were the glitches. The guard reported that the security cameras in Diddy's block would start to flicker and distort at the same times every night. Typically around 1 a.m. and again at 3 a.m., the footage would warp, freeze, or even go completely dark before returning to normal. When the guard brought this up to the tech team, they dismissed it as a problem with outdated equipment. But after weeks of the same occurrences, it became clear that this wasn't a mere coincidence. The guard began to suspect something more intentional was at play. Someone or something was tampering with the feed. And during these mysterious blackouts, the whispers started. The guard recalls hearing faint voices, almost like murmurs, while patrolling the block late at night. At first, they chalked it up to their imagination, but the whispers only grew louder, clear enough to make out laughter and fragmented words. Yet when they checked the cells, everything appeared normal. Diddy, for his part, didn't seem bothered by it at all. If anything, he appeared amused, as if he knew something the others didn't.
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the SHU have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there.
It wasn't long before the guards' curiosity got the better of them. During one of Diddy's recreational hours, they slipped into his cell, hoping to uncover some answers. What they found only deepened the mystery. Hidden beneath his mattress was a sheet of paper covered in unfamiliar symbols, nothing resembling any language the guard recognized. Next to it, a note was scribbled in hurried handwriting. Asterisk watchers, silence, loyalty. Asterisk behind a loose brick in the wall. They uncovered more. A crude drawing of an eye surrounded by flames, along with a list of names, some of which matched the high-profile visitors who'd come to see Diddy late at night. This discovery was the tipping point. Fearful of what might happen if they stayed, the guard resigned soon after. But even after leaving, they couldn't shake the unsettling feeling of being watched. Anonymous calls and strange cars parked outside their home made it clear someone was keeping tabs on them. Despite the risks, the guard felt compelled to speak out, hoping to expose the dark and mysterious events unfolding behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center.
At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, they're legal documents. The government's saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
So what's really going on here? Why is someone like Diddy receiving such extraordinary treatment? And what did the guard uncover that made them fear for their life? As the pieces of this puzzle begin to fall into place, one thing becomes clear. This story is far from over. Could Diddy's influence extend beyond the music world? Or is there something even darker at play? Let's take a step back and examine the mountain Diddy is trying to climb. The charges against him are nothing short of explosive. Allegations spanning years, involving behavior so disturbing it has shocked even his most loyal fans. While Diddy maintains his innocence, the details that have emerged paint a picture of a man deeply embroiled in a web of control, manipulation, and power struggles. And if you think this is just about a courtroom battle, think again. Diddy's legal wars are as much about managing his public image as they are about the law. He's fighting for his future on multiple fronts. Diddy's first major legal battle came in November 2023 when his ex, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit against him. Her claims were nothing short of staggering, alleging a decade-long cycle of control and abuse throughout their tumultuous relationship. In her lawsuit, Cassie described feeling trapped in a situation with no escape. But here's where it takes an unexpected turn. The case was settled just one day after it was filed. No public trial, no drawn-out dispute, just a quiet settlement that resolved things behind closed doors. While some believe Diddy was trying to swiftly put the matter to rest, others couldn't help but question. What was he trying to hide? After all, settling a case doesn't prove innocence. It just means you're willing to pay off the issue or make it disappear.
Diddy's mom has finally spoken out amidst everything that is happening right now. Janice Small Combs provided a statement to some outlets via her attorney. So she starts off by saying it's very heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies.
But if Diddy thought settling with Cassie would put an end to the controversy, he couldn't have been more mistaken. Just days after that settlement, 2 more women came forward with their own lawsuits, accusing him of similar behavior and recounting incidents that they claimed took place decades ago. One of these cases involves a woman who alleges mistreatment by Diddy and his associates while she was still in college. The timing of these lawsuits wasn't by chance. They were filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which temporarily lifted the statute of limitations, allowing victims to seek justice for long-past events. What's particularly intriguing, however, is how Diddy's legal team has responded to these new claims. They've consistently denied each accusation, calling them fabricated and nothing more than an obvious attempt to profit from his fame. His lawyers have been vocal in arguing that these allegations are simply efforts to exploit his wealth and status. While that defense may work in some cases, the sheer number of accusations makes it more difficult to dismiss. The court of public opinion doesn't wait for verdicts, and for many, where there's smoke, there's fire. For Diddy, those flames are growing dangerously close to everything he's worked so hard to build.
Just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Let's take a closer look at Diddy's defense strategy, because this is where things get particularly intriguing. His legal team isn't just defending him, they are actively going on the offensive. They've filed motions to dismiss several of the lawsuits, arguing that there's no credible evidence to back up the allegations. They also pointed out inconsistencies in the timelines and argued that the accusations are too old to be substantiated. This isn't just about winning in court, it's about planting seeds of doubt in the court of public opinion. If they can convince the public that these accusations are either exaggerated or completely false, they may be able to salvage at least part of Diddy's reputation. Then there's the issue of witnesses. Reports indicate that Diddy's team has been working tirelessly to secure statements from individuals who can vouch for his character or offer alternative accounts of the events in question. However, this has raised a more troubling concern: the potential for witness tampering. When Diddy was denied bail for the third time, the judge specifically mentioned worries about his influence and the possibility of him interfering with witnesses. After all, this is a man who has spent years surrounded by people whose careers are tied to him. If he wanted to sway someone's testimony, would they even have the power to refuse?
No, I'm not surprised by the ruling because, as she cited in her order, there are very serious allegations about the danger that he potentially poses to other witnesses and the public at large. There are allegations that he has, been violent with others. He's also attempted to allegedly intimidate other witnesses and still contact witnesses while incarcerated.
What's even more unsettling are the rumors that some of the potential witnesses have mysteriously disappeared from the public eye. Insiders close to the case suggest that a few individuals who had previously been vocal about their knowledge of Diddy's alleged behavior have suddenly gone silent. While there's no concrete evidence of foul play, the timing of their silence is suspicious enough to raise questions. One legal analyst speculated on a recent podcast that this could be the result of behind-the-scenes negotiations where loyalty is bought, not earned. Whether driven by fear or financial incentives, the absence of these voices only deepens the mystery surrounding the case. To add another layer of intrigue, there are reports of private investigators allegedly hired by Diddy's legal team. According to unverified sources, these investigators have been delving into the lives of the accusers, trying to uncover anything that could discredit their claims, everything from financial records to past relationships. It seems no detail is being overlooked. Critics argue that while this tactic may be legal, it crosses an ethical line, particularly in cases involving such sensitive allegations. But for Diddy, who is fighting not just for his freedom, but also for his legacy, this aggressive approach might be his only chance.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Despite these bold moves, cracks are starting to appear. Legal experts have pointed out that Diddy's team is treading a fine line. If they push too hard, they risk alienating both the jury and the public, a high-stakes gamble. One attorney remarked in a recent interview, "On one hand, you want to protect your client's interests. On the other, you don't want to appear as though you're bullying or being overly aggressive, especially in a case that's already emotionally charged." This delicate balancing act adds another layer of complexity to what's shaping up to be one of the most closely watched trials in recent memory. And let's not overlook the legal powerhouse Diddy has assembled. His attorneys are some of the best in the business, renowned for handling high-profile clients in high-stakes cases. One of his lead attorneys, Mark Aguilo, is known for being ruthless in the courtroom. He's the type of lawyer who doesn't just follow the rules. He manipulates them to his advantage. In a recent statement, Aguilo insisted that Diddy was focused, strong, and ready to fight. But how much of that is genuine, and how much is just a carefully crafted image? After all, the man in that prison cell today isn't the same one who once dominated red carpets and award shows.
This person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
Speaking of his time behind bars, let's take a closer look at how Diddy is adjusting to life in prison. While the guard from the Metropolitan Detention Center hinted at special treatment, let's face it, no amount of gourmet meals or luxury headphones can replace the freedom Diddy once had, and he knows it. Insiders report that he's been working out diligently, focusing on both his physical and mental well-being, but there are also signs that he's struggling. His most recent court appearance shocked onlookers, with many noting how much thinner and older he appeared. Elizabeth Milner, a reporter for the Law and Crime Network, described his transformation as astonishing, highlighting the sharp contrast between his once glamorous lifestyle and his current stark reality. While Diddy's legal team insists he's in good spirits, rumors from inside the prison suggest otherwise. Sources claim that he's becoming increasingly paranoid, convinced that someone in his inner circle has betrayed him. This growing distrust isn't just affecting his mood, it's influencing his legal strategy. Some insiders allege that Diddy has instructed his lawyers to investigate the backgrounds of his accusers, searching for anything that could undermine their credibility. But this tactic is a risky one. If it backfires, it could make him seem even more guilty in the eyes of the public.
It sounded crazy, like I said before. They said that 2,300 people reached out to the law firm, and out of the 2,300 people, I guess they decided to go with just a little over 100, which seems like it's they just put out the number and everybody's calling to see if they can get a check.
It's insane. It's insane. Now, again, he did say that nothing has been filed yet because he says he wants to make sure that they do their due diligence and get this right.
So what's next for Diddy? His trial is set to begin in May 2025, and if convicted, he could face decades behind bars. But even if he avoids a guilty verdict, the damage to his reputation may be irreversible. This isn't just about legal consequences, it's about his legacy. For a man who built his empire on the notion of being untouchable, Diddy now faces a reality where everything he's worked for could come crashing down. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Diddy the mastermind behind this chaos, or is he simply a man at the mercy of forces beyond his control? Could his downfall be the result of his own actions, or is he being targeted by those who see him as an easy scapegoat? The truth, as always, likely lies somewhere in the middle.
Having none of it.
One thing is for certain, though, this story is far from over. As the trial date looms, the world will be watching, waiting to see if Diddy can rise from the ashes, or if this will mark the final chapter in a career that once seemed unstoppable. Regardless of the outcome, there's no denying that Diddy's fall from grace serves as a cautionary tale for anyone who believes they're too powerful to fall. As the saga of Diddy unfolds, we're left with more questions than answers. Could his influence extend beyond the music industry into something much darker? And what about the guards' chilling revelations? Are they a glimpse into a deeper truth, or just the product of fear and paranoia? The comment section is open, and we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is really happening behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center? Could Diddy's downfall be due to his own actions, or is he being targeted by unseen forces? Share your theories and opinions below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious and keep watching.